What's up, y'all? I'm back. Your boy Wendell, WM Sports. Today we got a special guest talking about COVID and basketball. Woo woo. Y'all know who you is.
How y'all doing? My name is David Mcneil. I'm the head JV coach at Meade Highschool and one of the long-term, at this point, varsity assistants also at that school.
All right, so he's going to tell us about how COVID has impacted him coaching. So, how was it like coaching last year when COVID was kind of new?
If you can call it coaching, I mean, it was the season was pretty much non-existent.
Okay.
There was nothing going on. During fall, it looked like everything was getting better, and then that second wave of COVID hit, and we were literally a week into them saying, okay, y'all can start workouts next week. And as soon as that week started, immediately, I think Sunday night, they called and said nobody started anything for winter sports. You guys are all season suspended until further notice. We'll have a meeting later on.
So that was like around March?
No,
April?
this was February?
Oh,
No,
February.
Excuse me. Y'all gonna think I'm stupid now. This was more around like November.
Oh, okay. November.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had already postponed the start of the season, and then towards the end of November, it started looking good, and then around, I'm gonna say that second week of December probably is when it was like.
So that was when school was still virtual and stuff.
Yeah, school was still virtual. Kids weren't even in the building. Us as adults weren't even in the building unless you had a reason to be up there for workouts. Like fall was already approved to start workouts, even though the season would have just almost been over for them. But football was soccer. All of them were up there already working out. The farthest they were getting into the school, I think, was maybe the weight room, if that. Besides that, they weren't using locker rooms or anything like that. They were just there, pretty much.
Okay.
And then they made everybody stop.
Dang. So how did it impact you as a coach with like tryouts and all of that? So what was like the process from a coach's standpoint?
So the process as far as tryouts, since we didn't have anything, they told us that if the season were to happen, not to worry about tryouts, pretty much to accept all participants and whatever they want to do. And I was just like, it's crazy, because I mean, I don't have, just for numbers, I mean, it's better for JV. I'll use the JV terms in a sense because I usually run my own JV trials. I usually have anywhere between 50 to 75 kids showing up to try out for JV.
Right. So
and I got to cut that down to 15 already. So I don't have jerseys, nor would I have the amount of time I need to get through an hour and a half, 2 hour practice with 75 kids there and get them all equal reps and even care that they're getting equal reps. Like, it's because if you're not going to be on an active roster, or I'm not going to hand you a jersey on game day, it's almost like, well, what am I doing?
Yeah, so was it kind of like you were by yourself? Was like every man for himself? Or was like the administration, they were helping you out? Or was it, how'd that go too?
As far as administration goes, our administration really didn't say anything. The AD for the county and the other ADs in the school were the ones communicating with the county AD, Clayton Cove.
Okay.
Clayton was just laying down, this was going to happen, this was going to happen, this was going to happen. And if this happens, that happens, that happens. So it was kind of vague for like a lot of the answers they were giving and a lot of questions we had for them. They didn't really want to answer too much. And it was more political, I felt like, than anything. But, I mean, they still had to come up with something for them to do. They wanted us to have a season just in case.
Right.
So their idea was to hold, at least in Anne Arundel County, I'm not sure about any other counties, because they wanted to make sure we still got our paycheck and we worked for it.
Right.
They made us hold these Google Classrooms.
Okay.
So with these Google Classrooms, I had to, well, not just me, but our head coach, Mike Glick, along with our assistants, Mike Francis, Joseph Holmes, and Tommy Duvall, we had to create and invite kids to this Google Classroom and hold meetings that almost totaled an hour and 30 to 2 hours throughout the week. We just held 2 45-minute sessions twice a week, Tuesday and Wednesday, from, how many kids were starting school at that point? I think 8:30. So we were holding meetings from 7:45 to like 8:20, every
At
day.
night?
No, in the morning.
First
thing in the
before.
morning.
Before.
First thing in the morning.
Okay.
Our very first meeting probably had the largest numbers we've ever had as far as the meetings go. And we had to do those meetings for six straight weeks. No. Yes, 6 straight weeks. And as those meetings went on, those numbers dropped.
Yeah.
I mean, the last week of those meetings, I had the last 2 meetings because we broke it up amongst coaches. Those last 2 weeks, I had 1 kid one day, and then the last meeting, I had nobody.
Dang. So I know parents, coaching and parents and all that. How were the parents' interactions with you?
Pretty much zero. I didn't really have any parent interactions as far as like the Google Meets or anything. I mean, I have parents that I see on a not a day-to-day basis, but you go out shopping, you run into them. I had 2 kids before they even started the school year, or actually more around the beginning of the school year, transfer out of Meade to Odenton Christian, because the Odenton Christian coach sold, we're going to have a basketball season, and this is going to be that, and blah, blah, blah. And then we had 3 kids transfer to Odenton Christian, but those 2 went. Then the coach poached another kid from us, and essentially when that kid went, the other 2 kids came back. But the other 2 kids were also doing poorly academically over there. Right. And we're talking about in a private school in a smaller setting where they should have more teachers and being able to care for them. I mean, those kids were doing poorly, and one mom was just like, "I'm pulling you," and then the other mom actually like ran into me out while we was out in public and started talking about what's going on. She was like, "If that's the case, I'm pulling him back, and he's coming back to me." Okay. This was around Thanksgiving break, or after Thanksgiving, or right before winter break, or something like that.
So did y'all ever have a season?
No, we never had a season.
So you never had a season like right now, like ever since COVID, you haven't had a season?
I haven't had a season, and we've lost. We lost 3 kids, all varsity kids. 1 kid was a sophomore last year, played a little bit of varsity, went back and forth between varsity and JV, and then he went to Odenton Christian.
Did they have a season?
They had a season, but their season ended up getting canceled.
Right.
But their coach ended up taking them down to Virginia to play games every weekend. So I mean, certain coaches found ways,
like AAU type of thing, like a pro-am type of thing.
It was more of an AAU type of thing, but it was a bunch of high school. Yeah. It was a bunch of high schools that just were like from Maryland who went to Virginia. There's other schools in Virginia played as well, but there was a bunch of schools in Maryland who were just like, look, we can't use our name, but I can say we're the not Odenton Tigers or whatever they are, but it's like the Anne Arundel County Tigers, and we're an AAU team. We're going to play here. And then we lost another 2 varsity kids to Arundel Christian, which honestly, I didn't even know the kids left until somebody told me, like, hey, so-and-so's team played so-and-so's team, and these 2 kids were on the team. And I was just like, that's crazy, because 1 kid was on the team at Arundel Christian, but he was still enrolled in classes at Meade. Okay. Wow. So, yeah, I was there. And I'm not sure how it was for the other kid, but, like, so I'm just like, how are you playing for them, but you're enrolled here? I didn't know JV basketball was so political. No, those were varsity.
Varsity? I mean,
those are my JV.
I didn't know that was so political, because I thought, like, it was just college, but it gets to high school. So you haven't coached since COVID, right? No. Okay, so
not 1 game.
How do you think it's gonna be your first game back? How do you think practices and like dealing with the mask and all that and the social distancing?
Honestly, I don't know how much consideration they're taking into it, because the county has already approved fall sports. Okay. So currently, right now in our county, fall sports are going. Winters are completely out the question, and as soon as fall sports conclude, they're going to go to spring. Fall is playing football, soccer, volleyball, and field hockey. And from my understanding, from what I'm going to see, is I don't think any of them are wearing masks. I think it's
on the field, or
even on the field.
So like on the sideline, you have them wearing masks.
They might. I was like, we haven't seen. Okay. I was like, they have a game next week. First game, all games are going to start next week. Okay. So
that's for fall, but spring.
That's for fall. Yeah, but you're having fall sports in the spring. It's a little weird if you're used to that setting. So if they're not going to wear masks, I'm assuming when we come back, we won't have to if you're playing.
Right.
Coaches probably
Mass.
will. I mean, it won't be too much of an adjustment. Might be a little more muffled and calling. Kids might have a harder time understanding play calls. But I mean, I don't think kids will have to wear masks. And if you do, I don't know if you've seen like some of like high major recruits playing right now.
Yeah.
Like some games they have masks on, some games they don't. Some people let you have the mask as long as it's on, you can play, or it's covering. So I'm hoping we don't. I'm hoping that the kids don't have to wear masks, but it's optional. But it's optional if they want to. Because I want them to have that option to wear it or not wear it. Because you never know, like, it might affect the kid's performance who has asthma.
Right.
So
I know you said you had a little varsity history. So how, let's say a senior in high school, how does this impact them trying to get recruited, you know? They don't really got no films. The season got canceled. How does this impact them if they trying to go, you know,
you got a few choices.
D1 or something like that?
You got a few choices. If you have offers, you accept what you either make a decision on what you have.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have any offers and you really want an offer, prep school.
Okay.
I think a lot of prep schools are gonna like go through the roof. As far as like trying to get kids in with seniors, because a lot of these seniors were hoping on bigger offers, or they had certain schools interested in like, well, you don't have enough film, we want to see.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. That's what I was saying, like the film.
Yeah, and then like some kids are just gonna be like, go to your local community college. I hope you make the team there if they have the certain sports team you want to play.
Yeah.
Or just, you know, just go to school or do whatever you want.
So does the recruiting fall more on, as in now, does it fall more on the player than the coach, or is it kind of 50-50, or is it more the coach and the player?
I still think it's 50-50.
Okay.
I think when it comes to recruiting, as far as coaching and recruiting goes, you always have those kids that you want to get out. There's certain kids I feel like as coaches worry about more than other kids. So, and I'll just use this for instance. In a couple years ago, you'll know some of these guys. You know a lot of them. When Meade won states in 2015, and went back in 2016. Certain guys like a Tristan Easton or Bruce Sproul, you didn't have to worry about recruiting for them. Coaches were coming for them. Other kids such as Jarrell Edler or Keith Duffin, Josh Qualls, Dejon Burns. I mean, like, these guys had interested from schools, maybe not even wasn't for basketball, some were for football. But it's just like, where would you go? Like, so, and then you have your other kids on the team who played backup minutes to those kids, and it's just like not too many coaches called about them, or not many coaches at all called about them, or a coach saw him and it was like, can we get film, or we're not interested. It's like, there's that. And then you have some coaches who are just, yo, I got a kid.
Right.
You need a body. I got a kid. He wants to play college ball. He's maybe not the best or what you're looking for, but he'll work hard and he'll get there. So, I mean, some coaches focus more on other kids than other kids, and some coaches are like, look, I have my two. Those are the two kids I'm worried about. All
right, so we're going to wrap this up with the last question. How is COVID impacting you as a basketball coach?
The biggest thing is going to impact me as a coach is if we have a season next year, I have no idea what's walking through my halls for JV.
Okay.
I have no idea what's in the school. I have no idea what's coming to the school. I have no idea what to expect. And that's just not even for my school. That's every school in the county. Like, I feel like a lot of these kids might be in situations where, like, right now, like, I was supposed to return 8 kids for JV this year. 8 kids who just came off a championship year, some who played, some who didn't play, but some who made tremendous strides in the off season to get better and really burst through the ceiling I had set for them in the off season, had to raise their ceiling more. All those kids who would have played JV this year are now going straight to varsity with no game experience this whole year, no varsity experience ever in their life. And then you're going to have kids from 9th and 10th that, like, you're going to have 9th graders this year that I didn't even get to see. And it's going to be like, next year, for me, it's going to be like, well, do I really keep this kid if I don't see him playing varsity? Because I won't know what he's going to do. Like, and there's I'm not going to lie to you, there's a freshman coming in that can do the same thing that their sophomore does, or maybe a little less. I have 2 years with that freshman. I don't have 2 years with that sophomore. I mean, a sophomore as a junior can play JV, but you don't really want to put a junior on JV that you're not going to that you're not going to use on varsity his senior year, or that you're not going to move up, that you know for sure you're not going to move up.
Right.
So, I mean, it's going to be a whole new season. Nobody's going to know anybody's kids.
Right.
Nobody's going to see kids.
No
Nobody's
film
going to
or
have no film on anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have old film to go off of, but I won't have film on those kids that he has, so I won't know their tendencies.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of learn as you go. And once film starts becoming available, it'll be easier, but it's going to be a whole new ball game of people stepping in and like kids stepping into a situation where it's like, what do you do? Like,
I feel that. Well, we're gonna conclude this. Y'all see it, my man. What you won? You said you was the champions?
we just won a little JV county.
Okay, JV County champions, you know, Meade High, that's where I went. So, you know, we represent. So, this is going to be the end of it. You feel me? We had a good talk about how COVID impacted. So, you know, like and subscribe. See the next video. Peace.